Hello everyone, welcome to another race in the Link to the Past Randomizer tournament for 2019. This is our game 3 between werfjig and Makinx. They did have a game last night. If you didn't see that, you need to go over to the ALTTPR Randomizer channel and go take a look at that one. Sorry for the cropping issues right now because this is their first stream on speed gaming. We do not have a crop for Makinx. We are working on that as we speak though. I am one of your comms today in the booth. My name is HammerBro, and I am joined by Tau Decay. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic, Hammer. It was fantastic to be in the booth with you again 2 days in a row. And yeah, apologies to everybody about the technical issues, but you know, it's here on the East Coast, it's a little early on Sunday morning still, so we're still kind of getting stuff ready for you. But don't worry, I think we'll get those ironed out in a little bit.
Yeah, it shouldn't take long. But yeah, so this is going to be a regular old set of races. They did have... Oh, I'm trying to remember what the settings were for Game 2. I watched it last night, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But I know that they changed it back to regular old settings. So we have randomized swords, open mode, no shuffle of the maps and compasses, 7-7, and defeat cannons. Just a regular old seed today. Meanwhile, 10 arrows to start us off. So hopefully that'll lead to an early bow. That'd be nice, but I'm not betting on anything.
Yeah, let's see how deep these guys end up and escape. See if they find that sword maybe over by the uncle.
Yeah, that would be more ideal than I would expect. We'll just leave it at that.
And yeah, chat, we know audio is part of the technical difficulties at this moment, but we got people working on it. If you'll just bear with us, we appreciate your patience.
Alright, so we got magic drops, magical decanters, and a green goo. Just magic everywhere, and then 50 rupees from Uncle, so we're just staying green for now.
Yeah, so aside from Ecto Cooler, not too much in the back, but you know, that does give us that assured bottle if they're going to head over to Kakariko Village, which does seem to be the next move on the plate.
Yeah, although I've seen more and more frequently now people putting off Kakariko until 10-15 minutes in. So it'll be interesting to see if either of our runners do that today. It doesn't look like it's going to happen, but I've seen some people check Lost Woods and then just save and quit out and go do South Shore. So we'll see if that becomes the new meta.
Yeah, it is always interesting to see how these metas evolve. I would say that the Lumberjack check seems to have really fallen out of favor amongst runners, whereas it used to be more of a coin flip kind of thing. And of course, as usual, while I talk about a thing, it's happening on stream or not.
Yep, but it does look like we have a coin flip on that because werfjig deciding not to worry about it and Makinx giving us the check for the quarter heart. So not going to need it for that. Oh, there's the boots. All right. Hey, at least we have early go fast.
Yeah, you gotta love seeing that. I like watching runners suffer, but I also like watching them go fast, so I'm good with that.
Yeah, they can just last location with the boots. That's fine. Meanwhile, Makinx getting a couple of really nice bomb drops.
Yeah, werfjig is pulling up bushes fiercely, trying to find some bombs. No luck, though. Looks like he's going to go purchase some here and then make his Kakariko circuit.
Yeah, the bomb's making routing this a bit easier because he could choose to just head straight back up north and do the regular routing and only lose a couple of seconds with those boots, which is exactly what he's doing. That's not surprising. It's easier to keep track of everything when you do it in the standard order you're used to.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who it was. It was last fall's tournament. It was a big name player. Like, we're talking a top 5 finisher, and they forgot Bomb Hut, and it tore the entire seat away from them.
Oof.
Oh, there we go. All right, thank you very much, crew. We got a crop, we got audio. We are fully online, everybody.
Yep, and speaking of, well, putting off for the time being, Makinx deciding to go do Bonk Rocks and grab the book for that, which is interesting. That might be helpful depending on what our desert, what desert ends up being. We haven't had a map check from anybody yet, so we're still waiting on that.
Yeah, but you know, you gotta, that early boots pointing to the book, that is kind of yelling at us a little bit, and we're getting another bottle from the.
Yeah, now honestly, all we need is the lamp to show up, or fire rod to show up somewhere around here, and that would complete the go to desert play. Alright, so far Kakariko not being terribly helpful.
We did get the magic cape for you Aga fans. It's another piece of that puzzle. Oh,
hey,
there it is.
A lamp.
So, Desert Palace, anybody?
I mean, I feel like that's less of a question and more of a demand. It's less of a hand thrown up like, hey, anybody want to go to desert? And more of a foot-tapping, incessant, impatient demand to, maybe you want to go to desert, like, right now.
If Desert Palace is a person, they'd be over in the corner, arms crossed, looking at their watch and kind of gesturing at you.
Exactly. Although we could end up getting the bow someplace around here, and then Eastern could be doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, we are still looking for some kind of a offensive power outside of bombs. So hopefully race game or even library shelf, which is oddly accessible on our first visit for one.
I mean, we have the artisanal arrow. That's offensive power, right?
Very briefly. We got half magic.
Think we're gonna get a. Think we're gonna have. Yep, heading right back in there. Interestingly enough, the werfjig does not have the book yet, so that could get interesting.
Yeah, I think that probably means werfjig. It'll be interesting to see if he does go to Agina, because I think that Makinx going to Agina is probably going to happen at this point. Werfjig might just divert down through South Shore checks, and we'll have to see if Bonk Rocks become part of his play, or if he finds Power Gloves somewhere, he might head up Death Mountain instead.
Yeah, that is a fair point. The Power Gloves do point you in that direction, but they also point you to the back of Escape, which would be in the same general area as Bonk Rocks. So we'll see how that turns out.
That's a great point. You get those 3 items out of the way, Dark Cross, Green Pendant, Desert.
The other 2 are standard crystals, so no 5, 6s in the Light World, but we do have crystals at Eastern and Hera. And I'm glad you saw Desert, because that's the one I missed.
Yeah, that was the first one I wanted to, because I was kind of hoping that the seed would force them to desert, and it would be a non-green pendant, because I'm cruel like that.
You will come here and you will get nothing, and like it. Alright, so werfjig following the standard Southern Shore play as of right now. Makinx instead heading straight over to grab some bombs, looks like. Alright, bombs. Ha! What he wants sitting over in the island that's just out of reach.
Yeah, you're going to need at least a few bombs to deal with Mini Moldor and Cave at this stage of the game. You know, it's it's kind of nice and trolly of the seed to have given them half magic already with just the lamp, whereas this would be the perfect opportunity for the seed to throw a fire rod or an ice rod so we could get something to deal with enemies.
Well, yeah, but that double magic lets you get, I don't know, like, isn't it like 32 uses of the lamp or something ridiculous?
It's more uses than are safe or reasonable, really.
Hey, I don't know, there might be a hidden torch room. We do get the Moon Pearl, which doesn't actually give us anything useful right now. It's nice, but doesn't really help us on its own.
Well, for the sequence-breaking players, that is going to give us Waterfall Cave access with fake flippers. But yeah, this is actually the first real piece of the Dark World puzzle so far. Is definitely been a little dry on that Dark World access so far.
Yeah, we've been a little dry on progression too, so we'll see what ends up coming up here. I imagine we're going to get the gloves or something somewhere soon. Would be kind of funny to see it over in Sahasrah's hut after we've been pointed in the opposite direction with, you know, the book and the boots and the lamp.
Yeah, werfjig grabbing blue mail. Nice to have this early. Still have a lowish number of hearts, and especially because you can't really kill anything easily, so at least you're a little better protected.
Yes, we also do have a water walking right here. Set that up nicely.
Gotta love the water walking with the boots too.
Oh yeah, it is so much faster. It feels so good to be able to pound out a water walk and then just dash around the sea. That's honestly a glitch worth doing, even if you do have the flippers.
Yeah, and it's nice because one of those glitches that even if you are a person that is not good at video games like me, you can pull it off with minimal practice. Ooh, and that is Zora Cash for werfjig.
There we go. Yeah, that was a clutch. That was a clutch pickup from Hobo there, because I was sitting here thinking, I mean, Moon Pearl's nice, but right now we can't do anything with Zora with 200 rupees, and lo and behold, Hobo gave us his down payment on the house he decided not to buy.
All right, werfjig looks like is all right. You can do it.
You know, for a title pool, it doesn't really help you all that much. Makinx did not go to Hobo, so it does not have money for Zora right now.
Oh, wow.
There could be another rupee hoard sitting in here, but it's unlikely. Yep, nope.
So werfjig is going to give us the news on how that's going to affect Makinx, although it looks like he's going to head up to Hobo, probably give himself a good smack on the forehead, and then go right back to Zora.
Yeah, that's pretty much the lay of the land on how that's going to work out. Yep, just 10 arrows on the ledge there, so don't need to be doing that.
So if Zora actually gives us an item, this whole area will be pretty well behaved today.
It's not terrible, but it's not very good.
I mean, given we want some offensive power. You know, this seed's been a little too teasy. It needs to give us something. Give us a button that kills stuff that's not bombs. Come on.
Basically, yeah. That's probably part of the reason that even Makinx is shying away from desert, because doing desert with just bombs, not fun. And there's what? One item outside of desert, you've got Agha's Cave, and then 2 within desert itself. So between those 4 chests, the odds of getting something useful, not great.
Yeah, so here's werfjig checking out Sahasrah's closet, and then probably going to go clear out Eastern Palace. Now that is a place that's pretty easy to get through without killing anything. So let's see what we get. Okay, some more bombs and cash, and he's skipping Eastern Palace for now.
Yeah, he made a liar out of you deciding not to go into Eastern, which is interesting because we're kind of running out of things to check here.
Now, hopefully this is the Bonk Rocks check for werfjig, because that book, I mean, even if we don't need it for desert access, we still got tablets that are going to be coming up later in this seed. There we go.
Yep, werfjig gonna grab their book here, and it looks like Makinx has decided that he has wasted enough time. Time to go to desert.
Yep, I mean, I'm pretty sure we are out of checks here, aside from Eastern Palace and desert. We've got Agha's Cave in the open, but that's it. You got to go in someplace. You got to commit.
Well, we also have the entire front of Escape, which is, I think, 2 or 3 items as well.
Ah, yeah, the front. Yes.
And actually, everything's in Logic, because we have the lamp as well, so you could put all of Escape in Logic. Given, that's not exactly ideal without the glove, without the mirror, but It's all grabbable. Alright, well, nothing from Agnes Cave, so you can knock that one off the list. We're going to get a check here. Nothing there, so we have 2 items left that might prevent us from having to do Bomb Landmo. Ugh.
Well, it seems like both of our players are just going with what the seed has given them. Are like, fine, you want us to go to desert? Let's go to desert.
Interestingly enough, though, we still don't have a glove, so it'll be amusing to see if something pops up here, or if this ends up just being a complete and total red herring. Well, there's one item. So this could be an interesting point of divergence. Neither of our runners have a whole lot of bombs, and I don't know how prevalent bombs are under pots in desert. But we may have one runner decide to go for it, and the other one decide not to. If we get a glove in here, that would be interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure. If I were these runners, I mean, even if there's an item left on Landmo, I would want to do a bomb Landmo at this point. You still got Eastern Palace, and with the glove, you got the back of escape being a really fast check. You don't even have to do the full front sequence. Oh, the mirror.
Yeah, werfjig grabbing their second item and going, forget about it. And Makinx, yep, right behind him.
So what are you thinking now? The play is maybe do that escape so that they can for the that easy warp out as soon as you get to Zelda.
That's what I would assume. Sitting here, you've got the lamp, you've got the boot, you've got the mirror. You have everything that's going to make this as fast as it can be, and they're both making liar out of me. Alrighty, never mind. Let's go somewhere else instead. That makes sense. werfjig going to be grabbing bombs first. Or maybe not grabbing bombs? Don't think he has enough rupees.
Nope.
Oh, this is a seed.
It is a seed. I could not have said it better. All right, I like this. We're finally getting a little bit of divergence here. So we got werfjig heading for escape. We got Makinx is doing the closet. Now, hopefully, we are not going to see the save and quit. Let's see that Eastern Palace.
Oh yeah, I mean, if we have Makinx going to Eastern and werfjig doing escape, then in just a couple minutes here, we're going to know everything that's on the map.
That's right, because there is only so much stuff left in the item pool, and if these guys do not get at least the correct 2 more ingredients for Dark World access, we are going to ag.
I mean, we still need a sword for that. Oh, there's the glove.
So that glove does throw Death Mountain and Tower of Hera into logic.
That is a good point. I imagine that... Yeah, I imagine that would be the next play for werfjig before doing Eastern. Though I may be incorrect in that regard.
Well, we'll see what the how the rest of Escape shakes out for him. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if werfjig finishes out gets the Zelda cell, warps out, reset to Sanctuary, check back of Escape, check Dark Cross, save and quit, Death Mountain. That's gonna be my play advice for werfjig.
Well, only had 1 bomb, so couldn't actually finish off that blue guard, and then decided not to do the back of Escape. Which is kind of interesting. So I think we're going to get the back of escape from this end of things. I disagree with that play just because if you find more bombs or a weapon here in back of escape, you could have used the mirror again and then just finished off escape. But right now, that last chest is going to be really, really orphaned. Meanwhile, nothing helpful in Eastern so far, and...
That is 4 bombs at sub 20 minutes. Siege, what are you doing?
Yeah... I don't know. Also deciding not to do the Dark Cross, which had 1 bomb could have killed that rat if needed, but elected not to. Still not enough rupees to buy more bombs, so I think Eastern's going to be really our only play left. And we're just going to hope that Zelda's cell was not the answer.
Yeah, this is an interesting play for werfjig. I wonder what his thought process is, since Death Mountain is available, and he's opting to go over here. And I believe Werf already checked out the closet, so he's just got Eastern Palace checks and.
Yeah, and so far from what we've seen, Eastern not being the answer. So this is going to be a double dip unless there's something nice here. Oh, okay, maybe Eastern was the answer. That sword's helpful.
Oh wow! So so Death Mountain, we've got to find either a hammer or a glove, or it's Aga time.
Yeah, we also do have Zelda's cell as a potential answer here. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah. Yeah, Zelda's cell and Dark Cross.
So yeah, but I'm fairly certain with the sword now, we're going to get a full clear of escape from Makinx. So we're going to see what those 2 items are.
Yeah, Makinx finally picking up our first weapon. So 20 minutes into the siege.
Yeah, and werfjig still without one. Going to be a couple more minutes before we manage it. So fun all around. I'll tell you what, though, for 21 minutes, we got a boatload of health. 10 and 11 hearts, respectively. That is absurd.
Yeah, we've got end of the seed health already when we're barely even scratching the surface of the.
Yeah, so it looks like you might get your wish here. Early boots, but still not friendly so far.
As sort of it's like a monkey's paw kind of thing. You wish for early boots, but all right, fine. This is what you get, though.
Yeah, pretty much. Pros, have boots. Cons, have nothing else.
Well, they did throw in the lantern early, which was that was very nice of them.
Yeah, but that's just because it's logically required with what we're making our runners check here. Alright, new check number 1 for Makinx, just a 20. You have a mirror! Alright, so electing to do back of escape from the sanctuary as well, I would assume.
It's looking like it, and after getting that glove, it's I don't know. If you time that out, is that going to be a time savings over?
I don't know. Probably. But I think it would be close. Because at this point, I feel like you would be in the first or second room. So it's all about, are you more comfortable doing it backwards or forwards, I assume, would be the main difference there. For someone who could do them both optimized, it would be pretty close. And we are going to get that mountain play from werfjig. Meanwhile, we're going to see if missing Dark Cross was an issue in just a moment. Alright, so for those of you who have just joined us and don't know the mode for this, they did a map compass shuffle last night for Game 2, and then it was decided that we're just going to go ahead and get rid of that map compass shuffle, so this is just a regular old seed. Meanwhile, Dark Cross not giving us anything, so those 2 item locations outside of being kind of in the back of werfjig's head, not missing anything. So the play at this point is going to be the mountain, because that's just about all we have left.
Yeah, it's a shame to lose that map compass shuffle, but you know, it does seem to be the mode this year that the runners are not fans of. Despite I find it very interesting, similar to the retro mode from last year's.
Ugh, I could not stand retro mode, and I think that's mainly because I played it once and went, "Oh, this is terrible. I hate this." But you know. All right, werfjig getting that spin speed. Couple of cabbages away from a full-on cabbage stew there. Oh, hello. Again, another item that's helpful and one that we might need in the future, but not something that's really going to help us all that much in terms of progression now.
Yeah, we are still waiting to see those two, one of two Dark World progression items to get Aga out of the logic. Flute is very nice to see, but is not going to help us.
Thankfully, we will get a check of this tablet, so that's the advantage of having book early.
Oh!
Oh boy! Alrighty, Master Sword, anyone? Anyone have a Master Sword? Can we get a Master Sword on top of Death Mountain, please? Come and get your Master Sword. Oh, that is not fun. Alright, so Mitts on Ether.
There it is! Alright,
oh,
so
are you kidding me?
Aga is officially dead, and wow, this seed could not have put that... Oh, gee.
You asked for it. This is your fault. You said it.
You know, the seed has really been railroading them from the boots to the book. Oh, wow.
Oh, man. That's going to be a great question to ask. We need to remember that. What were your thoughts when you looked at either tablet? And what were your thoughts 5 seconds later when you saw the Master Sword and Hera?
Yeah, how did you feel for those 20 seconds between knowing you need to find a sword and then just seeing it right in Hera base?
Yeah, because that would have been an insulting Aghanim required seed. Like, oh yeah, your glove is right here. No, it's right here, really. It's right here. Oh, you can't get it? Oh, that sucks for you. But no, Hera being the answer to the question of, do I have to do Aghanim? That answer, thankfully, being no. Alright, so we're about 26, 27 minutes into this point. I gotta start asking the question that's on everyone's mind. With V31, we've had a trolley item pretty much every seed. What's it gonna be this go-around?
Well, let me think here. So yesterday, the match that we actually calmed together, I think we got both, was it a medallion for both runners?
Yes, it was Quake for one and Ether for the other, if I'm not mistaken. There was also Ice Rod and Mire that was not friendly.
Yeah, that was upsetting. And then another match that I saw yesterday, they had the terrifying Go Mode Hammer. So you know, I might vote for that since Go Mode Hammer is awful.
I mean, Go Mode Hammer is actually, yeah, I mean, it can be terrible, but depending on where the other stuff is, it could also not be bad, because Hammer does lock quite a bit.
There we go. And that's Dark World access for werfjig. Now, did he orphan an item?
You know, I was so distracted by the fact that that Hera did a terrible for us. I don't recall seeing a second item in Hera, but I might very well be wrong.
All right. Looks like getting conflicting answers in chat. So we'll see if that crops up later in the. All right, everybody, the goose is loose, so remember to protect your rakes, otherwise they're going to end up in Lake High.
Unleash the Kraken. Hello, Samaria. What are you doing in there?
Ooh.
Alrighty, so you're going with hammer for our troll item. I'm going to go with the unlikely answer. Alright, so we have pendants in swamp and swamp and ice, so we may very well not have flippers this seed. I saw one of our 5-6 crystals was Skull Woods, I believe?
Yep, we got 156 at Skull Woods, the other 56 is at Misery Mire.
Ugh, that's fun. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and go with the mathematically unlikely answer. I'm going to say that bow is going to be our troll item.
I like that. That's a bold move. You know, I will also throw out one of my other favorite combinations, which is the Bombos Medallion required entry into Ice Palace, which holds the Fire Rod, which we need to get rid of Skullwood.
You know, that's unkind. You're going to give us Bombos entry into Pendant Ice Palace for the Fire Rod? Oh, come on.
I believe that was a vanilla medallion on Misery Mire.
You really do want to be here calming this all day, don't you?
Man, you know, I'm not a normal coffee drinker. I happened to drink a cup this morning, so I'm a little pumped right now, you know?
Oh boy, here we go. I think both of our runners may have known that. That's why they both skipped coffee break.
All right, so Thieves Town already off to an ambitious start.
Ambitious? I don't know that I would have called that ambitious, but okay. Alright, so we did have a Mire area check for Makinx. Nothing useful, but, you know, got the items out of the way at least and was able to see what the requirement for Mire was, which is, in fact, Ether. So you were correct in your quick look there.
It only took a couple hundred races, but I've finally gotten the ability to see that as quickly as the professional runners.
And sometimes I still can't catch it. They'll just get like 2 pixels and be like, oh, I know what it is. Like, how? I just saw yellow.
That happens to me all the time with Lumberjack Cave. Like, I don't get it. They'll see like literally one pixel if you go back and you rewatch the screen, and they'll know what the item is. It's just, it boggles my mind.
Oh, see, I'm much better at the Lumberjack check than I am at the Medallion checks. Alright, so we are going to have a really early Graveyard Ledge check. This could be interesting if there's something here.
Yeah, I think with the Canis Samaria, Makinx is liking this, feeling good about the overall check so far. And yeah, having that nice early mirror and the, oh, well, at least it's off his mind.
Yeah, take it back. Although, you know, there may be a specific reason here, because the two dungeons that are right next to us are currently Skullwoods and Thieves Town, and we can't fully complete either of them. I mean, potentially we could get lucky and there not be an item in that big chest, but if there is, we can't get it. So I'm not too terribly surprised to see Makinx swing in the favor of the overworld location for the time being.
Yeah, it's an interesting tactic, and also it looks like you know, if he's really going to avoid dungeons, he could go ahead and do the beginning of a Smith Chain here, right?
I don't know that I'd want to do Smith Chain just because you wouldn't be able to do Hammer Pegs, and that is an item location you can super easily forget.
That's a great point, especially since I've noticed that powder seems to be coming either not at all or really late in the V31 seeds. Yeah,
frequently they don't inundate us with fetch quests early, so that has been a good-ish thing, but then by the time you get most of your fetch quest items, you're sitting here going, oh god, please, 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 please don't let it be over there. So, you know, it's hit or miss.
All right, so werfjig is going to be getting to blind any moment now. Probably going to be doing standard sword strats, despite having that nice little cane of Burna, which is always a fun way to kill blind. Blind with hot puns. Very nice fight from werfjig, getting some sword beam action out in that one. The Hookshot!
Alrighty then, who put that there?
My personal favorite. It's in the inventory. Wow, we are in great shape with mobility items in this.
Yeah, now if we could just, yeah, goodness gracious. So, so how about East Death Mountain? How about that? Oh man, this seed, man, this seed.
Yeah, after that weirdly rickety start with all those defensive items, we're finally starting to spit out some pretty important stuff. Although, again, still no sign of the hammer or the bow.
Yeah, no hammer, no bow, no flippers, which isn't necessarily something our runners want to see. We are short all 3 of our medallions, both of our rods. Yeah, we're still missing quite a bit here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we definitely would rather not see flippers in general, I think, since that's only... those are both pendant dungeons in this lineup, so maybe we'll just skip the flippers, you know?
Oh no, we'll find those, don't worry. Those will definitely pop up. They always do. I'm not even saying it to be a troll, I'm just saying it because, well, I like being right, and if they didn't pop up, it'd be the first time I saw that.
If you want them to find flippers to keep them on their toes?
Well, I don't think you'd keep the... Wow, okay, we have a vanilla...
Wow.
Okay, not bad. Not to keep them on their toes, you just kind of have them in the backpack just in case you need them. I feel like you're keeping the boots on your toes more.
That's a fair point. Thank you for completely deconstructing and destroying my terrible, terrible pun.
Well, you know, I had to do something with it. And just saying boo like chat probably will is old and gets used a lot. So I was trying to go someplace amusing with it.
So we got a nice little sync up going here. Interesting. Makin is deciding to skip not one but both dungeons in near Village of Outcasts.
Which is interesting. That may end up being helpful. May not, depending on what we have over on Death Mountain and how quickly werfjig gets back to that. Because right now we're still hoping that Swamp is not someplace we'd have to go. So having Hookshot for Swamp, not really relevant.
And Werf was... Okay, did he mean to do that?
Yes, have you not seen this glitch yet? Oh, this is great. Alright, so basically how this works is if you leave that chest in the Dark World, like anything else that happens within the first couple frames of something else happening, yep, it still recognizes that you have the chest. Now you can't switch over to the light world and then walk over to the guy, that won't work, but if you switch over right next to him, he'll still give you what you need.
Oh, wow. And we got a fetch quest nested inside of a fetch quest.
Well, they had to be somewhere, I guess.
Oh, the bow in Hype Cave!
Dang it. Alright, well, there's my guess.
So that glitch with the lunchbox, is that... Would you say that's more in common with the big red bomb glitch? Or with one of those super tile type glitches?
I would say it's more in common with the big red bomb glitch because it's a point of it's an error in what they think is following you. So because of that, I would argue it's a glitch more along those lines. because you can literally leave it anywhere in the Dark World and it still works. So it's not just because they left it directly above, which is what I initially thought, that you could go over to Eastern, you could go over to Pod, rather, leave it over on that screen, and then transfer over and it would still work.
I see. That's a pretty interesting glitch. All right, so where are we at right now? We've got a bow. We need a hammer, definitely. We can skip flippers, but we have a whole array of magical items that we need at least 3 of, if not 4, possibly even 5, between 2 rods and 3 medallions.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that we don't need 5. That would be unfortunate, because that would lead to a vanilla Turtle Rock. Hey, you missed your duck. Bring it back here. Or don't. Okay, never mind. Intriguing. But yeah, so if we needed all 5 of those, then it would definitely be a Bombos entry for Ice Palace and the Fire Rod in there. So I'm hoping that's not the case. But needing 3 or 4, definitely more likely at this point.
All right, so both of our runners are going for that Skull Woods dip. Going to clear out the front here, and if they're lucky enough to find the Fire Rod, finish it up.
Yeah, that would be a trolley find, but it wouldn't be the first time I've seen it in here.
Now, I like Makinx's divergence here with his routing, because having that Cane of Samaria means he can easily skip that first room there without having to do the statue drag and everything.
Yeah, Cane of Samaria makes that room way more friendly. Ether is also helpful, because you can just take out those Gibdos fairly easily. Alright, that's 1 item. Alrighty, and one thing to keep in mind with this dungeon, one of the changes that V31 made, is that there is no longer guaranteed to be a small key in the pinball room, as we like to call it. So if you fall down that other hole on the right-hand side and you do not have a key from exploring Skull Woods beforehand, you might not get one. That's a hole, werfjig. This portion being useless, though. Compass down below, map up above. This is probably going to be a key at this point, because we have yet to see one. But it could have also been the second item, which would have been a blast, I'm sure.
Okay, and that's it. Front of Skull Woods, bit of a bust.
Yep, now the interesting thing will be seeing if Makinx decides to go back and do Thieves Town, which it looks like might be happening. Yep, so assuming that Makinx decides to do the entirety of this dungeon, like just finish it off, we are going to get a Hookshot.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to get a little bit of redundancy here. Our runners retracing each other's steps between Thieves Town and werfjig, going through some of those overworld checks. Now, it would be interesting to see if werfjig, with that Hookshot, does go over and check out our good old friend the Catfish.
I don't believe the Hookshot helps you get back over. We'd have to have a Kern bomb jump or a water walk at this point. Either way, we are at the very least going to get the Cane of Samaria here, which is going to be a nice grab. Huh, and we did get a timer reset from werfjig, so I wonder if he smacked his keyboard out of happiness.
Yeah, not 100% sure why that happened. Maybe just a fat finger. Who knows? Oh, wow, didn't get Dead Rock there. That was surprising.
Every now and again, the pixels end up in your favor. Not frequently, but every now and again.
So werfjig gonna eschew the other lower Dark World checks and is heading over for ED.
Yeah, not a bad choice in my opinion. You've got all of Eastern Death Mountain here, all of Dark Death Mountain here. Not to mention, you'll also be able to see what you need for Turtle Rock. So we'll finish most of the question marks in terms of go mode requirements right here. Hey, we could have something fully terrible, like something being required in Spike Cave, rather, and the hammer not being up here. Hey, we do get red mail, though, so this seems very friendly. 13 hearts, red mail, 45 minutes in. Yeah, that's nice. I would take that, heck.
Yeah, these guys are not going to be in a huge danger of dying here, I don't think, especially now that we're up to already a tempered sword.
Yeah, now if we could just get something that would actually make use of the half magic we got 6 minutes in, no, we'll just get a butter sword. And another heart.
Okay.
Alright, so Paradox Cave being remarkably unhelpful. Let's see what's over on the dark hand side of things here.
So Makinx finishing up Thieves Town, grabbing that crystal off blind. Let's see where he decides to head next. Are we getting a fake powder?
So this could be interesting. I have seen this bite runners in the butt several times this tournament already. Hey, Fire Rod!
There we go. Getting some magic items at last.
Alright, so that puts the back of Skullwoods in logic, finally. That's amusing. The quickest way that Makinx has to drain their magic is using Cape. That's unfortunate.
Now, unfortunately, I did not cast the medallion on Turtle Rock, and oh, there's the hammer.
Alright, so not quite the last item, but I would definitely call that a trolley location for it. Meanwhile, Bat just giving us a quarter heart, so wasted a bit of our time there. Alright, so our tracker says Bombos for Turtle Rock, so at the very least we're not going to need Quake. And with that hammer in hand now, we could actually do Spike Cave as well, just fully complete the mountain, which would not be a bad thing.
Yeah, werfjig's in a great position to take care of that right now, especially since we're still dry on medallions, still don't have the ice rod. Just wipe out all the checks and come back up here once we are done with all the other crystals.
Pretty much. That's the hope at the least. But deciding to leave Spike Cave, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, maybe it looks like a little distracted by maybe that that Skull Woods play.
Yeah, and so far there's been a lot of double dips. We have a double dip of Eastern, which isn't necessarily a big deal, but we also have a double dip of Desert going to be coming up. We're able to single dip Hera, but we've already been in Skull Woods once. There's a bunch of double dips so far this seed, not being friendly in terms of item locations and where they expect you to go in what order.
Yeah, it's interesting because the double dips are not necessarily the result of, you know, poor routing decisions or just wild guesses, but the seed's actually requiring all of these double dips.
I mean, technically Desert wasn't required, and I don't believe we found anything useful in Eastern, so not required either. But
So-
make
Well, if I'm remembering correctly, I believe our sword was in desert, and the power glove was in Eastern Palace. I could be wrong on the sword, though. Oh, the mirror in desert.
that's right. Mirror was in desert. Well, half magic coming in handy there. Gibdo's not being nice. I swear that room in Skull Woods is literally okay. What are the 5 most annoying enemies we could put in a single room? All right, I got it.
All it needs is a dead rock.
Yeah, pretty much. Thankfully, we only see those on the mountain. All right, and there is our second item.
All right, 3 crystals down for werfjig.
Fire Rod, for those of you who are asking, is going to be grabbed very shortly by Makinx in Hookshot Cave. Check the pedestal. Do it. Do it.
So we've got, what, an ice rod, 2 medallions.
We've got Couch Cash. Move right along. Alright, so that is our third crystal. And the nice thing right now for werfjig, gonna be able to full clear pod, full clear Eastern. So we're gonna be able to get up to 5 crystals at this point, and then just gonna need medallions and that ice rod.
Yep. No, I bet werfjig is hoping on to grab that ether and pod. Definitely the highest value of those 3 items that we still know that we need, since ether medallion giving us access to Mire will also give us access to Pyramid Fairy for another check.
That's a good point. There's also quite a bit that we haven't seen in the overworld, so doing that portion would give us a ledge, catfish if our runners so desired. So we'll see. Ether would be nice. It would also allow us to do, either Bombos or Ice Rod Go mode, which would hopefully cut down on having an extra trip up the mountain. Hopefully.
Well, let's see what we're gonna get here.
Well, not bow locked so far. Would be really nice to see another key in this chest coming up. It allows for the most efficient routing, in my opinion. Because then you can just drop down, go do the vanilla big key chest, and then drop down again. You threw that in the wrong direction, bud. Unfortunately, we did get a key, but it wasn't the key we wanted, so we're going to have to be a little more annoying about this. Or perhaps just orphan that vanilla big key chest, which, if it has a small key, won't be a big deal. Alrighty, so a quick roundabout there, throwing 4 arrows into 3 mimics, and getting the nice dash over through that fun little room. If we see another key here, that would lean towards... Alright, so at this point I'm pretty sure we got 3 small keys, which means that vanilla big key chest having a small key for us. So since that would be a small key for a small key, we can ignore that if we want.
That sounds right.
So can we talk about 14 and 15 hearts red mail?
Yeah, this is pretty ridiculous. Um, there's how could a runner die at this point? Also with the half magic, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a bit. We got quite a bit here. This is likely going to be a no unintentional death seed. And honestly, with the mirror, we might not... Oh, nope, that's not quite right. Hammer Yump being really difficult. In terms of the vertical placement, you have to place both yourself and the bomb in the perfect pixel. So, not fun, not easy. And then werfjig trolling himself.
So Makin making interesting decision here to dive right to Helmus.
That is kind of intriguing. It's not something you see terribly often. Hey, look, it's more health. You know, I don't think we have very many full hearts left. I really don't. Like, I don't think we've seen Sank Heart yet, but I really think that's it.
Yeah, it could be. And now we're going to find out in the Dark Maze and from the big chest here if there is anything high value in pod that Makin is leaving behind.
Honestly, I would be shocked if Makinx decided to not come back and get these other items. That would really genuinely surprise me. There's at least 2 or 3 items back here at the bare minimum, as werfjig goes ahead and grabs their 15th heart now.
So, yeah, I absolutely agree. I don't think he's going to walk away and leave those behind, but it is in the strange position where there was literally nothing in pod.
Yeah, and it's not like there's nothing in pod because we don't need anything. We're still looking for, at minimum, 3 items. So, there's still some stuff to find, it's just not here.
Yep, and I think we only have 1 item left in Eastern, I believe.
Yes, I do believe there is actually an item left in Eastern.
So let's see how Makin's routing ends up in terms of how these guys finish up pod here. I'm very intrigued to see the results of this.
Yep, for those of you in chat who are asking, this is not 6.6, it's not fast Ganon, this is just a regular old settings for seeds. It was changed to map compasses for the game 2 yesterday, and then it was changed right on back to normal. So, nothing special about this seed other than the fact that, well, you know, pod's empty, which is unusual.
Such a shame. I love seeing that map compass shuffle.
16 hearts on Makinx's side. This is ridiculous.
You know, I've seen 19 in a race before. Can we get the full 20?
No way.
There's some orphan heart pieces like at Lumberjack, so we're not going to get that far.
Yeah, there's one there. That's right. So it looks like our runners are going to be pretty much at the same point in terms of exiting. werfjig going to be about a crystal soundtrack behind, if you will.
So now that's interesting because I think that that is not so much a result of Makinx's different routing in terms of running the Helmasaur, but probably about the time differential from werfjig's hammer yumps.
Yeah, that is a fair point. I don't remember which one of them was able to hop into pod first, either off the top of my head.
Worf was in. He definitely had a solid lead getting into pod before Makinx.
Gotcha. Well, we are going to get another crystal. really quickly here. Probably not anything useful other than that crystal, but we will get that crystal. And nothing but that crystal, so help us arm us. Alright, so at this point, what's next? Wouldn't surprise me to see Makinx go ahead and just clear out the back of Skullwoods, because it's in logic, it's right there, he hasn't done it yet. But
Yeah.
What's next?
For werfjig, I think we've got two main options for werfjig. We've got the sort of east side dark world checks, run up to pyramid, check that, run up to catfish, check that, and there is also Desert Palace holding that green pendant and is practically cleared.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm trying to think. I mean, do we really not have anything more useful than that? Goodness gracious.
Well, I mean,
we really don't.
We can't get to Ice Palace in logic, and we can't do Swamp Palace, period, because of a lack of those flippers.
Yeah, I think that's just about all we're sitting on at this point. Ugh. That's not fun.
Yeah, the lack of medallions and the lack of flippers is really cutting down on the options here.
I mean, I'm sure we're not displeased about the flippers cutting down on the options here.
Well, the runners, at least.
Don't wish that on them, it's unkind. You can start wishing for flippers once they get bombos. Because then we could have Ether or Ice Palace. Or Ether or Ice Rod sitting in Ice Palace or Swamp for that matter, which would be just as trolling, honestly.
But I mean, if you've got a pendant Ice Palace and you've got a Bombos medallion, I mean, you're going to go to Turtle Rock and you're going to clear as much of that as you can.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Hammer pegs from Makinx. Good call. That is an item location that is super easy to forget if you've already done the Smith's Chain. Meanwhile, we are going to see the Meyer area check from werfjig. Not going to get anything useful here, other than knowledge that Ether is
Oh, sorry. I believe he did not actually check Shed yet?
No, it was Makinx who did Meyer.
Okay.
Meyer area, I should say. But this would be the time to go get that green pendant, if werfjig were planning on it.
I mean, I definitely think for him right now, it's the play. Easy access to the back of Desert Palace. Got the Fire Rod for a nice quick kill. And, yeah, you get extra items to turn in. Meanwhile, Makinx going to Skullwoods, as expected. werfjig turning up his nose.
For what, though? What is he doing? Oh, he might be doing hammer pegs as well, actually. Was there an extra item in Thieves Town?
Oh.
I know we have the key, but I don't know if there's an item back there. I did not count.
Chat is confirming that, yeah, we still have the orphaned items in both Thieves Town and also in Hera.
That was weird. Did you see Makinx swinging his sword at the curtain there and it not opening?
No, unfortunately, I missed that.
I think someone slightly melted that butter sword because it wasn't working there for a second.
It looks like Worf is going for his fake powder now.
Yeah, but with actually having the fire rod, this will be a little quicker of a drain. You don't want to do that. Yeah, that would take forever.
All right, Makinx getting his 5th crystal, tying up the crystal count.
Head check. Sorry, guys. We get to see Couch Cash again. Have we gotten a, I think, oh, I don't remember. Did we get a Bombos medallion check? I think we did.
Yes, we did. It was, something.
Okay, something superiorly unhelpful. Got it.
It was either money or a piece of piece of heart.
Pizza.
Keep reading pizza in chat, and it's starting to like flood into my brain.
Pizza? Man, I want pizza. Maybe we can get a pizza instead of a Triforce. That would be nice. Can I get my Triforce with sausage and cheese, please? But anyways, it looks like both of our runners are making the same set of choices here. Let's go ahead and get the pyramid out of the way, get the wonderful, wonderful catfish check out of the way.
That is a weird high five, given their their fluting location.
It was less of a high five and more of a kind of follow the leader sort of thing here. Alright, nothing there. Now let's go run to Catfish.
I wonder if Catfish, now if Catfish had his vanilla item, how frustrating would that be?
Oh, it's a oh, come on, not that one.
And maybe I'm actually feeling the French vanilla Catfish, if you could call it that. Let's get a medallion off him. Oh, Worf making the drop off for Mushroom. Nice play, excellent routing.
Wait, wouldn't a French vanilla Catfish be flippers, or were you just going with a different medallion?
It's not really French. It's like come up with another flavor.
Strawberry.
All right, yeah, be a strawberry medallion.
Instead we
strawberry shield.
Alright guys, looks like we're gonna have to go where you don't want to go.
Makin, get over the desert, man. Come on. Clear it up.
The indecision was real there for a minute. There's an item on Hera, but I don't want to go to Hera. But there's an item on Hera, but I don't want to go to Hera.
Yeah, we got Thieves Town, we got Hera recheck, we got Spike Cave, we got Desert.
And we have that one item left in Thieves Town, which I think we might see here.
There we go.
The indecision on werfjig's side too. This is fun. I love it when this happens. Oh, he's gonna go check Zelda's cell.
I think he orphaned Darkcross. I think he... Oh, and that's right, he didn't get to finish.
Yep, didn't do Zelda's cell, didn't do Darkcross. That's not fun.
Oh, man. Well, I mean, we know from Makin that it's just, what, $20 in the cell, so at least he's not going to be kicking himself too hard.
No, but it's still a second dip, which at this point, when you have 5 or 6 orphaned items, does not feel good. So, for those in chat who are asking, Werf did not take a death at the beginning. What happened is all we had for the first, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes were bombs. And they didn't have enough rubies to go buy bombs, either of them. So werfjig did go into escape, but didn't have enough bombs to kill the blue guard, and didn't have any other way to do it. So this guard right here was never killed, so he couldn't go do the cell. And then he also forgot Dark Cross, which I'm not sure if that was related or not, but decided not to get it.
Did you see that? Did you see it in Thieves Town?
If I don't acknowledge it, it wasn't there.
Pendant ice, baby.
I mean, I would definitely do swamp before ice.
Oh, totally, but I'm just saying, the dream of Penned and Ice is still alive.
The dream of completing all 3 of the pendants, even though you know that Pedestal is dead, is still alive. Chat already calling flippers a red herring. That's perhaps kinder than this seed might end up being, but yeah, that would be really funny if the progression were actually in the basement of Hera.
Okay, so werfjig cleaned out escape, knows he didn't leave anything behind, and is now running into that lack of appealing options. So let's see what he goes for. Are we going to see Hera from him or Thieves Town? I'm liking this. Spike Cave too.
Hera and Spike Cave, yep. I think Spike Cave is what kind of pushes it over the edge, because that Hera basement is a much longer check than Thieves Town, but if you're combining it with another check here, it does make it a bit quicker in terms of per second.
Yeah, so we'll see. Because really, we need, I mean, even if there's an ice rod up here for Werf, we got to see a medallion to progress.
Yeah, that's fair, but if we do see something that actually gives us progression up here, that could lead to a huge divergence.
So what if Werf finds either here or in Spike Cave Bombos medallion, hops into Turtle Rock, finds Ether in Turtle Rock, clears Meyer, and Meyer is of course holding our ice rod. Or Pyramid Fairy.
Then that would not be a close match, is what it would be. Because Makinx, after doing Swamp, probably going to head into Ice Palace. So if there is in fact something here that is required, that's going to be a big ouch for Makinx.
Well, I'm not sure the dependent dip for Makin right now is assured because, you know, I think it was a coin flip for him. Am I going to check Thieves Town or am I going to go back up to Death Mountain and check those items? He went to Thieves Town, and based on the flippers, he's going through Swamp Palace due to the sheer item density of the place. Whether or not he would do the same for Ice, I don't
No, that's not helpful.
There's our third shield. Unfortunately, Laser Bridge was already in Logic, so...
Alrighty, Spike Cave, get your guesses in chat. You think we're going to see anything good up here?
Yeah, we need one of 2 medallions for Spike Cave to pay off. Otherwise, Makin has made the right call.
I mean, honestly, even if it's the Ice Rod, that's still a pretty nice grab.
Oh!
Not that one. Why'd you give us that one? Come on. Come on, man. We don't need
beautiful
Quake.
seed.
Oh, you and I have a different definition of beauty, my friend.
You got to think of this. You have to be less compassionate towards the runners and their sanity. You got to think about the entertainment for the crowd, you know?
Man, look, I've played enough seeds that I have to be at least somewhat sympathetic towards our runners. Sorry, I can't do it. And we are going to get this desert play.
You know, I agree, and I think that's a big difference because I think I've completed 1 seed ever because I'm so bad at this game. So it's like a sailor that doesn't know how to swim. You know, if they go overboard, they're just gonna drown.
I mean, I feel like what happened is, in terms of that analogy, our seed gave our runners floaties and one of those nice inner tubes, and then decided to drop a hurricane on their butts. Because drowning is pretty much what's going on at this point.
Yeah, and I can't believe that just happened. That we got the 1 medallion. Oh, it's so beautiful.
You're a cruel human being. You're a cruel human being.
I'm a nice guy. I just like Randomizer.
You like Trolldomizer.
All right, werfjig is making that Desert Palace play. Let's get that fast land mode.
All right, that's commentator's curse. That is your fault. Say you're sorry.
I am sorry. I did not mean for that to happen.
Hey, look, it's a compass. That'll help. Swamp Palace is so far empty. This is terrible.
Yeah, and I think he did left side too.
Yes, he did. So we are. I'm calling Ice Rod and Meyer again. I'm doing it. I saw it yesterday. Let's see it again.
Well, for Ice Rod to be in Meyer, we're gonna need another medallion in Sahasrahla, right?
I mean, alternatively, that medallion could be in ice. Oh no, wait, we need something, because we can't... Oh no, yeah, because we have the Fire Rod. We can do Ice Palace right now.
Oh!
Alright, so this one hurts. werfjig needs to grab those flippers and needs to go straight into Ice Palace at this point.
Yeah, the cruelty of this seed so far
is real. Yeah, so chat pointing out, it is official. Flippers are not a useless item. We need them for something from somewhere.
And that somewhere has, by a process of elimination, become Pendant Ice.
Alright, so what are we going to get in Ice Tea Room? Bombos? You want to see Bombos, don't you?
Well, they need Bombos.
You want to see Bombos and then Ether on, like, Laser Bridge, and then Ice Rod and freaking Meyer, don't you?
You know, at this point, with the Quake Medallion being where it was, I'm satisfied. So if Ice Palace gives like a bang, 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 everything that we need for Go mode, that sounds good to me.
You know, that could be the most trolly of all, because there's a decent chance that Makinx, upon getting an item in here, is going to nope right out. Thanks for that. That's helpful. Hey, we also haven't seen a shovel. Just pointing that out real quick.
Yeah, we haven't seen a shovel. We haven't seen a powder. We got a couple boomerangs still in the loot pool, too, if you want to find more useless items.
Right, but I mean, the powder's not going to be helpful because we have fake powdered, so... We're not happy about last locationing those flippers.
Yeah, tell us how you really feel, Worf. So now,
alright, so for those of you in chat who are still hoping for PED, we did have the book. We know that PED is just couch cash, so sorry, we are not going to get that troll today.
Alright, and it looks like Worf is going the same thing. He wants to avoid Ice Palace at all costs and is going to head over and do Swamp.
That's really unfortunate. So, if things continue the way they are, it's going to be Makinx's race to lose. There are obviously ways that could change that, such as, you know, depending on what's in here and where he goes from there. But right now, we just have a lovely little train track following. werfjig is farther behind on that track than Makinx is. Lumberjack is a piece of heart, if memory serves.
That is correct.
Yeah, it's not a situation of runners missing stuff at this point. Between them, we have seen literally everything except for ice. Like, we know that there has to be something in here because we've seen everything else.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the heart counts on these runners. That, trust me, they've been many places.
To be fair, that heart count hasn't changed in like half an hour, though.
All right, come on, Makin. We're getting to the point of the palace where we're expecting to see that item. What do we got here?
Absolutely nothing so far. It's going to be on cold stare, because why wouldn't it? Or iced tea room, depending on what Makinx chooses to do.
You know, I think you're increasingly right about.
I would like to point out that I said that very thing when he walked into the dungeon. Alright, what's an iced tea room? Oh, that's the second item, too. There is one item left, guys. For those of you who say you're looking forward to this interview, honestly, if this seed gets much worse, we might not even get an interview.
Yeah, I would just. If I were these runners, I would be very close to just rage quitting my Sunday at that point.
I mean, because this is absurd. We got boots at what? Oh, hello!
There it is. Oh no, the troll!
Well, no, not necessarily, because that is the third item out of Ice Palace. We got bombs, rupees, and then bombos. So there's nothing else in ice. And since we know Pedestal's dead, we're not worried about that.
No, but the troll being Ether and Turtle Rock and the Ice Rod and Mire still in play.
Yeah, we're really going to go for an hour and 50-minute seed with boots, what, 5 minutes in? Not even?
Yeah, that was sub 5 boots. And and here we are.
Hey, we could also have Ice Rod on Pyramid Ferry. That's one location we haven't checked, because we need to kill Mire to do that.
Oh, yes.
You know, you said you had enough troll with this seed, but I really don't think you have.
Yeah, it's like, I think somebody offered me, like, a plate of, like, would you like some more troll seed? You're like, you know, I'm full. I'm good. But you know what? It's been a little bit of time. I've been sitting relaxing, and yeah, I got some room for some more.
That's what Randomizer basically does. It gives you a plate of trolls, and it just sits it in front of you. And then, eventually, as you go on, like once every 15 or 20 minutes, you just take another bite, because you can't help yourself. Goodness gracious, we are an hour and 20 minutes in. We are still 2 crystals short of GT. We are 2 items short of Go Mode. This is not fun, guys. Not fun at all. Alright, so at this point we know that between Turtle Rock and Mimic Cave, there's something. There has to be something. Either the Ice Rod, the Ether Medallion, or both.
Yep, that's right. We are guaranteed progression sometime in the next 6 or 7 minutes here in Turtle Rock. We might get both items that we need. We might get only one item. We'll have to.
We also might get the shovel, since that's the one thing that we have not gotten yet. But that's the only thing that's going to open anything else up for us.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
You forgot about that one, didn't you?
Yeah, it's just the seed has been so trolly at this point, I kind of forgot that we still had room for some more. Yes, they did fake powder, so even if we find powder, that's not going to be anything.
Oh man, Werfjig's still heading through swamp. This is not fun. I feel so bad for Werfjig.
How about nothing in Turtle Rock, or no, we need Ether and Turtle Rock and a shovel on Pyramid.
I mean, that's possible. At that point, you could just stick Shovel and Mire and Ice Rod in Pyramid Ferry. Hey, speak of it, and it shall appear. Yeah, werfjig having difficulty getting the timing down. It is not an easy trick to pull off.
He's got butter, so, you know, who cares? Very nice second phase.
You know, I'm kind of surprised he didn't just mirror out after picking up the 10 arrows. You can do that. It would save you about 15 seconds.
Huh, that's interesting.
Now, given he wouldn't have the medallion at that point, but since we know there's nothing on pedestal, that medallion is completely and totally useless.
Few healthy rage slashes before heading down to Ice Palace.
And for those in chat who are asking, Coldster was not defeated, but we did get all 3 items out of ice. So the odds of there being something else in ice are nil. Sorry, guys.
Alright, it's time for everybody's favorite Mimic Cave. Womp, womp.
So even if we find the ice rod here, that's not helpful. I mean, it'll prevent us from having to double dip the dungeon, but we also need to find either the shovel or ether.
Yeah, we can't find...
Hey!
There it is. So that was our guaranteed progression item from Turtle Rock. But yeah, let's see if maybe Laser Bridge is holding that ice rod, the seed in the with its last gasp, trying to give us something.
Alright, so what do you think? Ice Rod in Turtle Rock or no? I'm saying no. I'm saying it's in Mire, because that's where it was their last race.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna say it's gonna be in Mire or you know, Pyramid Fairy. You know, something subsequent to Mire access that we need that Ether Medallion for. It does leave the door open for some portal shenanigans to re-enter Turtle Rock later. So we'll see if Makin is comfortable.
That's a fair point. The interesting thing about that, though, is if you do that, you have to death warp every time you transfer yourself back over to the Dark World.
That's doable, these guys are not in a great position to death warp.
Exactly. Red mail, 16 hearts. That'd still take a buttload of hits from a murder dactyl, even.
Yes, it might be. They might be in the rare situation where it's actually, yeah, not even worth it to portal. Makin's thinking about it. All right.
Well, I mean, at this point, because well, I don't know if has Makinx skipped anything. I don't think they did the Hera item or Spike Cave. So those are still possibilities for Makinx.
No, Werf did do Hera when Makin did decide to do Thieves.
Right, Werf did, but Makinx did not. So from Makinx's point of view, as werfjig did not count items.
I'm thinking though the ice rod's gonna be in here, so that's Hera's probably not even gonna be you know, coming into his brain.
That is a fair point.
Because yeah, we know either ice is in here or a shovel is in here leading to ice, or it's on Pyramid Fairy. Those are our 3 options at this point.
You know, amusingly enough, we haven't found silvers yet.
Well, I mean, we also hadn't found a boomerang until just now.
That's a fair point. So, I have a thought. If this ends up being a late GT Big Key. I'm not calling Tile Room because that's awful, but if it ends up being, I don't know, in Compass Room if they go full left, or behind Ice Armos otherwise, just something like that. Could we be looking at like a 180 or 190 collection rate at this point?
I mean, it's gotta be high at this point. We have cleared out. We're gonna end up having cleared out every single dungeon in this game. The only thing that we're not going to have taken out of a dungeon is going to be whatever is left in Mire if Ice Rod is found here. Yeah, if we're not at 180, I would be very surprised.
Alright, so for those of you asking, PED has been checked. We got booked fairly early, and there was just couch cash on pedestal. So that particular troll, not something we have to worry about. However, trolls in general, still abundant. And that's the third item out of Ice werfjig. He routed it differently for Makinx, so he is out. And that is one item, so we are down to one more item in Mire.
So that, and we still got Sankard out there, so 18 hearts.
This is absurd. This collection rate's going to be like worse than a key sanity collection rate. As werfjig gets dead rocked, because why not?
All right, well, looks like we are going to be seeing cutscene time for Makin.
Why wouldn't we at this point? Let's just clear everything.
All right, let's see what Mire's gonna give us. Gonna give us an item or force us to go to Pyramid Fair?
We'll see. We get to go over to the right-hand side first. You know, this is going to be close to 2 hours. Like, this could potentially be, 150, 155 with boots really early. This is terrible.
Yeah, you know, with those early boots, it just makes the time so much worse. Hey! 1 hour, 31 minutes, and 56 seconds. Go mode, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay, go mode. Sorry, my enthusiasm is all but dead. Goodness gracious. Alright, so we do have Vidi. And then we have Trinex. And Makinx did not save that portal.
Yeah, but
we are going to get, since we officially have Go Mode, I'm fairly certain we're going to get an audio switch if we can here in just a moment.
So now let's see what werfjig does. He's about to grab that ether soon. So is he going to decide to? Is he going to take us all the way to Laser Bridge as well, and then maybe even do the portal shenanigans, or is he just going to nope out of here?
I don't know. That is interesting. Would save a little bit of time. Still definitely going to be Makinx's race to lose, but would save a couple minutes. So. Alrighty, and with Tempered Sword, we're gonna do some, or with Butter Sword, we're gonna do some dash strats, and we're gonna have some dead eyeballs.
Yeah, Golden Sword, nah, not standing a chance, Fiddy.
And there we go. Audio switch here, just as Makinx picks up their 6th crystal. Alrighty, so we get to climb the mountain one more time.
Wow, this is, whew. You know, now kind of looking at things now that we know exactly how it all shook out, this does really feel exhausting. I do feel bad for the runners now, you know, when it's all said and done.
Yeah, especially because we started out with early boot, early flute, you know, just everything you want to be able to complete a seed potentially quickly. Like, alright, I've got all my movement items. We got Hookshot early too, just so we could have all the movement items we wanted. This one could be nice, and yeah, no.
Yeah, practically, I think aside from what Swamp Palace, which had nothing in it, every single dungeon was a required double dip except for Skull Woods and Tower of Hera as well.
Yeah, those weren't. Yeah, God, it was not nice. I mean, but even like strictly required double dips and double dips that you're probably going to do just because they're quick. You know, yeah, this was not going to be a fun one for anyone involved, really. Alright, so thankfully for Makinx, this is going to be quite a bit quicker since we don't need to open anything. We can take all the shortcuts through here. Still going to be a little bit of a journey, but it's not going to be the full, 7 or 8 minutes it takes the first go-around.
Yeah, getting a nice little interesting scenario here in both of our runners are in Turtle Rock, but one of them is going through round 2, going to go get Trinex, whereas werfjig is still trying to grab his last medallion and peace out of here.
Yeah, did grab Ether already, but still doesn't have that Ice Rod, which is going to hopefully for them be on Laser Bridge, but well, we know it's not.
And, looking at Makin's inventory, he did not find the Quake medallion, so he was at least saved from that little bit of extra, emotional trolling from the seed.
Yeah, didn't check Spike Cave, so that's one location that we can tick off for that. Alright, so we're gonna get a save here. It doesn't even honestly matter at this point. We still need to basically full clear Mire to get both the big key and the Ice Rod, but it'll help.
Yeah, it's just it's always really cool to see the portal save strats, and I can't believe this is like the second race in as many days where I've seen this this actually come up as a viable strategy.
Yeah, it's because when you get to this point, you darn well near know where it is, so you know that you can get away with it, because that's how the seeds have been. Alright, so meanwhile, this is going to be really quick with our Butter Sword, so what are you thinking for the GT Big Key location today, man?
So you know what? I normally say a location. This time, I'll throw down a number. I'm gonna put down 12, a nice even dozen.
Alright, 12. That's not bad. Yep, chat, you guys can go ahead and get your guesses in there. 1 through 22, no zeros, no negative numbers, no fractions, no decimals. You know the drill. Don't be a troll. This seed's been bad enough. All right,
Yeah.
so you said 12. You know, I really want to see a high item location, so I'm going to go ahead and say 20.
Yeah, it would be funny if the seed, given how it's gone, you would expect that high seed value, but be great if they just like walk down into torch room and bam, there it is.
That would be. You know, it's interesting to think. I'm imagining that both of our runners, with the way this seed's gone, are thinking they're probably monstrously behind, or as far behind as they can be while not seeing that dot done yet.
Yeah, oh man, this seed has just been. Ooh, how can you describe it? This seed is an experience, you know.
There's one sound effect that describes this seed, and that sound effect is a laugh from that one guy on The Simpsons. That's what describes this seed, and that's really the only way I've got to describe it.
I was thinking more like a defeated sigh, kind of like.
I mean, normally I would feel that way, but because we got early boots and all that stuff that made it seem like it could potentially be a quick seed, I feel like it was more of an in-your-face sort of troll reaction.
All right, so spots 1 to 3 are dead so far.
Yeah, don't worry, we've got plenty left. There's 20 arrows, which is, I guess, helpful. 20 arrows, 20 rupees, and yeah, another 20 rupees. Thanks! We are not going to get a Dark Magician route, so we're just going to keep going this way.
And number 8 is a map.
Alright, so if you guys were hungry, I've got a GT burrito for you. You know, we still haven't seen BugNet either. That's interesting. We're missing a couple of things in inventory for the ridiculous amount of item checks we've had so far.
Yeah, you'd think the seed would have thrown BugNet at us, especially early on in the game when we had no weapon. That would have been the time.
Alright, here's a weapon. I mean, not really, but here's a weapon, right? This is totally a weapon you can use. Just go beat Ganon with it.
Makin having a little bit of difficulty with those bomb throws there.
Alright, here comes Randomizer Room, so called because it is useless in the vanilla game. Not useless here, though, so that's nice.
So, which one was that? Was that 9 or 10?
That was 11.
Wow, that was really
Second
off.
one in that room. So your guess was only one off, so that's not terrible. Alright, so shout out to Dannibal Lecter, who was the first person to guess 11, and right on their heels, flying enemies. We had 2 11s in a row. So kudos to both of you for guessing correctly. You get a free supply of randomizers to be televised today and later on. In addition, you can go over to the website and get as many seeds as you feel like playing. Keep in mind, this prize is actually available for everyone, so all things told, you don't actually win anything. Enjoy your prize. Meanwhile, Makinx and me heading up through the gauntlet, which we swear is actually difficult. These runners generally make it look really easy. It's not. Don't believe them, they lie.
Yeah, plus today we've got the addition of a butter sword, red mail, and more hearts than you can shake a stick.
I don't know. You don't know how talented these runners are with sticks. They might be able to shake a stick at 17 hearts.
Well, I said that you can shake a stick at, not the runners.
That's fair. I don't know. I might be talented with a stick. I don't even know if I'm talented with a stick. I'll have to look at that later. But anyways, we're going to get a a lovely, wonderfully friendly Vidi fight, which is probably going to be really, really fast because Buttersword annihilates everything. Meanwhile, we've got Landmo 2 on the other end of things, just like Landmo 1, but with that stupid Medusa that shoots stuff at you. Just gets that 2-cycle.
Yep. So werfjig going with the same strategy as Makin, put the cape to some good use.
Yep, Makinx on to the most satisfying rooms in the game. First room, super easy. Second room, a little more difficult, but honestly not that bad. And once you learn it, well, yeah, there you go. That's what I get for opening my mouth. Sorry, Makinx.
Good recovery on the second round.
Yes, very well done.
All right, now it's time for werfjig to pull off some little shenanigans to get back up to his port.
Oh man, that's one heart a pop. We're gonna be here for a minute, guys.
I'm surprised those things are still doing a full heart of damage with red mail.
Well, they do what, 3 or 4 hearts without it? So I mean, goodness gracious, you can see the impatience. Come here, just finish killing me. I really hope he doesn't. I really hope one of those bottles doesn't have a fairy. Like, that would be both funny and terrible. Okay, good.
No, I still think he's got double B's going in his bottles. And some green goo.
Hey! The shovel! Alright, so all we need here is the bug net. Because it's not going to be silver, so that would be useful. Get out of the corner, Moldorm. Come on. I love that map check there by werfjig. I did that right? Hey!
Ooh,
Silvers!
That is a nice location. So, pretty sure both of our runners are going to be doing the fastest Ganon in the West. You're going to blink and miss this fight.
Yeah, but before that, we've got to go ahead and pass our agonometry exam, so here goes that. werfjig did save the portal, so at least we have that.
Very nice work by werfjig getting back in.
Meanwhile, there's 1 double on Makinx's side, 2 doubles, so we need 2 more hits to finish off the wizard, and that is not a bad setup. There you go.
Very nice.
2-2-2. Alright, and as Ganon's power weakens through the Dark World, we can actually use the flute just this once. I have no idea why the actual reason is, but I'm going with that. Alrighty, first 2 parts of Trinex down, and we get to see whatever smart aleck comment we're getting here. Alright, you can't hum with your nose closed. That is in fact true, although I'm sure several of you in chat are confirming now.
Alright, so werf taking out Trinex while Makin is making short work of Ganon. Phase 1 already down, just waiting for these bats to finish flying away.
Yep, and with Buttersword it is super easy. You've got 6 slashes for phase 1, 6 for phase 2, and then 4 slashes for this phase, which that doesn't change. You've got some really trolly fire bats, oh my goodness. So he hit him, but didn't actually, that was like almost like a silverless hit there. Did put the sword on the Ganon, but the floor didn't actually fall. And here come the teleports. Alright, now we are a couple stuns and 4 silvers away from finishing off the piggy.
And 1 more to go.
Alright, so hold on those GGs until we get a crossing of the bridge. Don't want to jinx our runners after after what this seed has been.
I think they might be jinx-proof at this point.
Don't say that. All right, so Makinx did finish in first place. I do want to go ahead and get the text here. You get to drink from the fire hose. Pretty much what that seed was. All right, so Makinx finishes in first place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 28 seconds. Ugh, that was ugly. Almost hour and 50 minutes with early boots. Not fun. Meanwhile, werfjig is heading over here to grab their big key. Whew, and then we're going to have one more quick tower climb here, and one more fight of the piggy.
So let's review where the runners didn't have to go. They didn't have to go to Pyramid Ferry, the very last rooms in Ice Palace, and the back of Desert Palace. That was it. Everything else was... Oh, and all of Swamp. I'm sorry.
Yeah, pretty much. This was one of those seeds where you're going to do everything and you're going to like it.
Yeah, you get the full world tour.
Goodness gracious. Alright, well, I'm sure they were hoping for one friendly seed in this match. If what I can recall correctly, the first seed wasn't friendly, the second seed definitely wasn't friendly, and this seed was not friendly. Speaking of, I do believe we are joined in the booth right here by Makinx. Makinx, I'm going to give you 3 Gs on that one because this seed was so bad, so GGG.
Well, thanks a lot, guys. Yeah, this was a terrible seed.
And it completely dangled those boots in front of you, too. Like, oh, here's boots. See, this won't be a bad seed. You're going to get boots really early.
Yeah, really nice start. But it all fell apart right after that, basically. With the sword hidden way down in Eastern. And you require that to get anywhere. Yeah, it was just terrible. So that sword was required to get the Titan's Mitts off of the Ether Medallion. So
yeah,
you had to double dip Eastern there.
You had to double dip quite a few things, it seems like, and even the things that you weren't specifically required to double dip, you were probably going to double dip just out of common sense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Thieves Town was a forced double dip as well because of those flippers. It could have fake flippered into Ice Palace to get that Bombos medallion, but you know who's gonna sequence break pen in Ice Palace?
Yeah, especially not when you also have Pendant Swamp. Like, at that point, it makes so much more sense. You've got nearly twice the items. You might as well just go do Swamp first, with which both of you did. You know, Swamp coming up completely empty.
Yeah, it was a complete waste of time. The only dungeon that was a complete waste of time.
Hey, so let's talk about Ice Rod and Meyer again.
Well,
I saw the game last night.
Yeah, I was kind of worried about the Ice Rod location because I had a few loose ends I hadn't tied up, like Spike Cave and that basement of Hera. So I might have been sent on a wild goose chase, but fortunately it was in Meyer. I was quite happy to see it right there.
You'll be pleased to know that Spike Cave did have the first medallion of the seed, but unfortunately it was Quake, the only one we didn't need.
Yeah, that was useless. All right. I forgot where the red crystals were, so I don't know if the fairy could have had anything.
Meyer was your second red crystal, so by that time you didn't need anything.
Yeah, so okay, potentially the Ice Rod could have been there. Just to make that little bit more trolly. So yeah, that's good.
Sure, but at that point, at that given point, you're just asking for it to stop. Just please stop.
Yeah, I had enough at that point. Yeah, definitely. So it could have been a little faster if I just skipped Swamp Palace entirely, but it was really hard to skip that in this seat. In a seat like this, it's really hard to not full clear the game. Yeah,
we had a discussion about what your item collection rate might have been. I know you've probably seen it by now because you don't have the 20-minute delay for your own personal game, but we have not seen it yet, and it's going to be ridiculously high. Which, if I can remember, your collection rates yesterday were also in like the 160s. If I think I'm recalling that correctly, but I might be wrong.
The seed yesterday was also like really trolly. I mean, you just had to go everywhere to get anywhere in the seed. Same with this. So we really got our money's worth in these 2 seeds, yeah.
I mean, if you want to call it that, you can go ahead. I feel like at this point, if you see Pendant, if you see Meyer, you know, it's just kind of an, all right, let's go in there and get the ice rod. Meyer's become the new laser bridge.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was kind of hoping for it to be on a laser bridge so I could just clear Turtle Rock in one go, but, you know, when does that ever happen?
Alright, so with that victory on your end, you have officially won this set here, and you are facing Matt 7898 for the next round. So how do you feel about that one?
That's pretty cool because I haven't played him yet, so I get to play every opponent in this group. So that's nice. It's going to be a tough one because he's a good player. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see where it takes me. I really was pretty rusty going into this tournament. Starting to get a hang of things a little bit, but I need to get a little more luck than this. I mean, can't make a gamble to save my life, so.
I mean, honestly, that seems to be most of the tournament at this point. I don't know if it's the new version and the PRNG has just been slightly different than what we're used to, or I mean, I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but I mean, I've seen a lot of people get randoed.
Yeah, that's just the way it is right now. I don't know. It seems like all the items are always spread out over every dungeon in the game, so you just can't avoid dipping old pendant dungeons.
Werfjig literally just picked up silvers from the post Moldorm chest and just kind of stopped there for a second. I could feel the exasperation. Like, really, you're gonna put that there? All right, I see how it is.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, your first sword, 19 minutes, Pegasus boots, 2.5 minutes, flute, 24 minutes, mirror, 15 minutes. If you look at that, it looks like it'd be an OKC. Not super friendly, but at the same point, you've got pretty much everything you need to go fast. And,
eight bosses with gold sword, you know? It's like a beginner seed. Also, I had like 11 hearts after 15 minutes in the game. It's insane.
Yeah, and you finished with a 17 and that 173 collection rate. So now, chat, keep in mind that 173 does not include any items. Werfjig just used the rest of their silvers. All right, so we're gonna see a silverless fight here on Werfjig's side, but that 173 does not include anything they saw and didn't pick up. So in terms of knowledge, that collection rate's a lot closer to about 185, 190.
Yeah, most of those unopened chests are left in GT. The remaining chests that I didn't open, all the chests on the right side and the past ice armors. The big chest.
Jeez, this seed was not fun. I'm sorry. I didn't roll it. I didn't have anything to do with rolling it, but I still feel the need to apologize.
Well, at least it's a Sunday and I don't have anything else to do today, so that's cool.
Yeah, I'm not going to apologize myself, but please don't go back and look at the VOD because one of us might have described a lot of the twists and turns very eagerly and feels very poorly about it.
Right. Well, we'll see about that. If I'm going to watch this back. Might be fun.
It might be fun. If you can remove yourself from it, like you're just watching two people you don't know race it, then yeah, it probably would be fun to watch, but I wouldn't want to watch this back if I played it.
Not for a while, yeah. I'm done with the seed for now.
Yeah, this seed held on to you as long as it physically could, though. That's for darn sure.
Yeah. Still got a 148. It's reasonable.
Oh yeah, all things considered for the seed, 148 is definitely a reasonable time, but just, you know, if you played the first 10 minutes of the seed and then went, okay, what's your ending time going to be, you probably wouldn't have guessed 148.
No. No, it felt really,
Meanwhile-
really long. It just felt very, very long. You know, and then you see the time, 1:48. It wasn't that long.
I think honestly, the fact that you had boots kind of makes it feel more condensed, you know, because you were checking things much faster than you normally would. Because usually when you get a
That is
148 seed, you end up getting boots an hour and 20 minutes in or something ridiculous like that. So this was unique in that regard.
That's true. Yeah, the early boots was the one nice thing this seed gave us.
Alright, so werfjig pulling the 12 spins required to defeat Ganon without the silvers. Gonna cross this bridge, maybe. Maybe? Okay, there we go. Just making use of that last fire rod shot. And werfjig finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 1 second. Get your GGs in chat for werfjig, and honestly, throw another G in there. It's been a long seed. Holy cow. Alright, so hopefully for you, your next set of seeds aren't going to be nearly as bad as this first 3 have. I don't recall how your first seed was, but if it went anything like these, you're probably mildly done with Randomizer at this point.
Yeah, the first one. Yeah, I kind of forgot that they'll like mix up in my head, so I don't know. I think the first one was better than the last 2, though.
That's fair. So looking at your item collection rate, you are missing in terms of health. You are missing 5 pieces of heart and a full heart, and that is all.
Yeah, exactly.
Alrighty, and we are joined by werfjig. Werfjig, I'm giving you a third G because that seed was so terrible, so GGG.
Yeah, first off, GG's to Makinx. That was
Thanks,
a
man.
really rough seed.
Yeah.
But that seed was so dirty, I literally took a shower afterwards.
You might need one. It was terrible.
But there's just so many things that went wrong. Double dip. I had to double dip escape because I ran out of bombs in the middle of it. Because I walked in with 4, just hoping to find some.
Yeah, we were thinking the same thing when we saw you go to the bomb vendor with 30 some odd rupees. Like, oh, that's not going to help. Okay, well maybe he'll be able to find something in here, or find another bomb, or find something, a weapon of some sort. Nope.
I did not think of the B strats. That would have been real smart.
You know what? Honestly, I didn't think of the bee in the bottle either. I don't think that crossed either of our minds, so we're with you on that one. But even outside of that, that was terrible. So how about Ice Rod being in Mire 2 times in a row?
Oh yeah, that was rough, but at least I did get to try out the portal save. I'd never done that trick before, and I was watching Azazas versus Matt, their last game, and got into a discussion on Twitch chat about, oh yeah, if you die in the overworld, then it saves the portal. So that was fun. I got to do something new.
Yeah, that's a strat I've been seeing a lot lately. And the first time I saw it, while I was commentating, I had no idea why this person died twice in the overworld, but then boom, the portal was saved. It was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Never mind. And yeah, I've been seeing it a boatload since then, which just kind of shows you how trolly these seeds are, because they're dragging you into, a place like Turtle Rock without the ice rod, and then you don't even get the ice rod for going in there, so you've got to save your portal. Oh, it's not been fun.
Yeah, but overall, it was just. I think as soon as I opened the flippers in the Thieves Town big chest, I had pretty much knew that I lost the game. I full cleared Swamp, thinking that the only way I could salvage it is if flippers were hard required. But
I
yeah,
thought
it
the
was,
same thing actually. So I went into Swamp with the same thought on my mind.
Yeah, and after Swamp came up empty, I'm like, well, now I just have to hope that he followed the exact same. He's thinking the same thing that I am, which I mean, this seed is kind of like a testament to like getting over discouragement in races, because if you've raced before, you always feel like you're behind.
Exactly. If this were any regular seed, like a regular game, I probably would have forfeited because I got bored with it. Because it felt so long.
It felt extra long because I messed up with my timer in the middle of my race taking notes. So I think maybe 40 minutes into the seed, I just had no concept of time.
Really?
Yeah, that's right. I think it was about 45, 46 minutes in. You were in Thieves Town and your timer restarted. So yeah, it was. But yeah, and it started out so well too. You know, you guys had the boots. Like, okay, that's awesome. You guys get the boots. You guys get the book, so you don't have to isolate those tablet checks. You grab your flute. Not too long after, we're still looking for swords. That's kind of trolly, but there's one here. There's one in Hera, so you can get your mitts. Not looking too bad, and then it just went to. It was a crap show, man.
Yeah, I try not to throw the word around too much, but I think this seed kind of earned the word troll, just because it gave us so many movement options early on, and it still took this long.
Yeah, it wasn't just a troll in that it was a long seed, it was a slog, but it was a, no, this won't be too bad. See, look at all this stuff I'm giving you here. This will make this seed quicker, and now you can full clear the entirety of Hyrule. Have fun! Like, it didn't even have the common decency to be a pedestal seed, because at that point, you know, you have a pedestal seed, you look at the finishing time, and you're like, well, it was a ped seed. Whatever. This wasn't a ped seed, even though it might as well have been.
So, Worf, I have just one question for you. You're getting towards the end of the seed. You're looking for that ice rod and 2 of the medallions to get into the dungeons. You go to Spike Cave. You see a medallion. It's Quake. How'd you feel?
Angry. No, but honestly, it was just the first thought was it's gonna be in Thieves Town, which I guess at that point my only thought was at least it's required, because you needed the hookshot on blind to get the hammer to check that chest. But after it was flippers, that was the real thing, because it was like I could have skipped literally all of it.
Yeah, you could have, if you had just fake flippered into Ice Palace, which would have been an absurd move, let's just point that out. But if you had done that, you could have skipped that entire thing, because flippers weren't actually technically required. There was nothing in Swamp.
Yeah, in hindsight, I fake flipper there just because if it turns out that I missed one of those progression items in one of those random off checks that I ended up doing for 10 minutes, I would have had to do it eventually anyway.
Yeah, that's a fair point. It still would have been a crazy thing to see, but it would have put you right back into the race in some sort of absurd, super risky check. But it would have done it. And look, Pegasus boots in under 2 minutes, Mirror in 15 minutes, even the first sword 21 minutes, flute 23 minutes, and then you still end up with like a collection rate of, I don't know, probably 180 if I had to guess.
I could spoil that for you.
It's coming up in just a second. We'll wait. We've waited about two hours to see the completion of this seed. What's another 15 seconds?
Fair enough. Oh, my one death for that portal save. That feels good.
Yeah. A very time-consuming portal save because of the red mail and the enormous amount of hearts.
Did you do the same thing?
No, I didn't do it because I thought, I'm not going to bother. It's so many hearts.
It did take a long time, but it might be faster than doing the whole dungeon again.
I think it's still, I think it's still it was still faster for you to do it than it was for me to not do it.
Was.
Yeah.
But yeah, 174 and 173 for collection rates, which actually, if I recall correctly, you guys are one off, just like you were last seed as well. So.
Oh, it was that one check that did me in?
Is the Quake?
It is. It's
a 10-minute Quake check.
Well, this is a lot of fun.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, werfjig, we are definitely trying to see you go. But after these seeds, you're probably looking for a little bit of a tournament break, anyways.
Yeah, I'm definitely a little burned out of this, but get used to this sweet, sweet voice, because I'll probably be coming in calm.
Awesome. I look forward to it. Meanwhile, Makinx, you have a date with Matt 7898, so we'll definitely be looking forward to seeing that.
Same here, yeah. Gonna be putting it on the schedule sometime soon. Gonna look him up, see when he can play. It's probably gonna be next weekend.
Yeah, good luck. He's an excellent player.
Definitely, yeah. Thanks, man.
All right, so on that note, do either of you guys have anything you want to add about this seed or this match in general?
Yeah,
Well-
I'll just start by saying we really appreciate getting streamed 2 races in a row. It's real nice. Appreciate the comms and the trackers and the hard work of all the volunteers to get this going. It's always fun to be on the spotlight.
Yeah, definitely. Same for me. Thanks for doing the comms and the tracking and all that, and the restream, of course. Just want to add that I'm just very happy that this was on a Sunday because I'm exhausted. I'm gonna need a nap now.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I might need a nap after watching this seed, if I'm being perfectly honest.
I think worst case scenario would have been a tie.
Oh, that
would have been
don't drag
amazing.
it out.
Yeah.
That would have been terrible. That may have been like that could possibly have been like the most disappointing tie for you guys, because you've gone through all this stuff and then you end up finishing and it's a tie and you're like, no, we have to do this again. Oh no.
It would have been awful.
Alrighty, well, since that is it for you guys, Tau Decay, my fellow co-com, did you have anything you wanted to add? I'm going to go ahead and shout out our tracker who was pushing the buttons for us. That is a much more difficult job than you think it is. I've done it a couple times. I can't stand it. But Slowpoke 316, thank you for pushing the buttons for us and dealing with the tracker kind of being annoying at a couple points there. That's all I have to say. Tau, did you want to add anything before we get out of here?
Thanks again, both of our runners, werfjig and Makinx. Brutal Seed, please go enjoy a nice shower, a nap, whatever you guys need to clean up from this nonsense. At least know that it was very entertaining to watch a lot of times. So you brought a lot of joy to a lot of people with your suffering, which I apologize for. Thanks again, Slowpoke, for tracking. Thanks to the crew for helping out today. I know we had some issues early on, but they got it resolved nice and fast. So we got a good, clean race for you. If you are looking for more Randomizer, we have got a game in session right now, Top Life versus Ninbon over at Speed Gaming 3, 15 minutes into their race. And we've got JTB versus T-Stu14 coming up here on Speed Gaming in just 15 more minutes. If you want more Randomizer beyond that, please give a follow to Speed Gaming 2 through 6, and ALTTPR Randomizer and ALTTP Randomizer 2 through 5. Again, follow the runners, the trackers, my co-commentator, Hammer Bro, fantastic guy. I have been Tau Decay. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yep, and we have a race coming up for you, and it started a little late, so it's going to be coming up in 19 or 20 minutes on your end of things. But so that's going to be starting at about 1:55 if you guys just want to chill out and get some more rando right after this. Have a good day. May your seeds be kinder than this one was.